it feels like it's been 4 weeks since our last home game. I mean, started off with St. Mike's and Franklin Pierce all on the road, and then SNU this past weekend. And I think it was really good for us to face some adversity. All of them super strong teams, really aggressive teams. And, I think the first half in all 3 games, we struggled a little bit in the beginning. We called timeouts pretty early. So leading into this 4-game stretch, I think it was good for us to face some adversity and still come out on top. Actually, in the second 2 games out of the 3-game stretch, our goal was, with the team not to call a timeout in the first half, but sometimes you just have to figure it out. And I think for us, we, in a lot of those games, played some great hockey the first few minutes and got a little complacent, just assuming that the goals are going to happen. So we're missing big opportunities just on getting complacent on the field. So those timeouts are really based around work ethic sometimes more than the actual skill set, which is also a goal for us and our leaders, that in the next 4 games, the coaching staff, we're working on the X's and O's, and they're kind of taking over the work ethic and the effort pieces, because it's definitely there when we play. I feel like we've talked about Casey so much this year. We talked about last year being a breakout year for her, but this has truly been her breakout year in terms of what she's fully capable of. In terms of, I think she's at 31 goals right now and the 17 assists, an all-around player. So I think there's a lot of great players in D2 right now, but the fact that she's on the board in both senses is huge for her, and it's huge for us. And I think talking to her about what our game plan is the next 4 games and then postseason, and when they're all playing as a unit and they're all moving off ball and creating the patterns for everybody, I think they do some really special things. And Casey, just her speed in general. So anytime she's moving, I think that she's capable of putting so many more goals on the board than she even has now. So I think the next 4 games, 4 season games, are going to be huge for her. I think that we don't ever settle. For us, we are a really attacking team, and we could put 3 or 4 on the board, and the girls will probably tell you that I'm usually saying it's not good enough. And I think at the end of the day, they want more, and we're doing the patterns at practice, and we're doing a ton of different functional training, and what we're doing with our attack, they set things up for each other, and they're hungry in the circle. So I think for us, it's great that we're leading the nation in a lot of those areas, but I think we're capable even more. We're excited. I think, I love the way our season was set up, really tough in the beginning, had to overcome a few things and get our confidence back. And we're ending with really strong teams right before postseason, so I think that's great for us in terms of our development. We're a completely different team than we were in the beginning of September, and I think they're ready for it. And I know that we've, fixed a lot of things that we had to fix. But there's still so much more potential, and a lot of things we haven't thrown out there yet that we're saving. So I think these next 4 games are huge, obviously for postseason, but for us to actually see what we're capable of and hopefully, figure out a couple things and move forward into postseason. I love playing Merrimack. It's such a tough game because we play really similar styles. They're super fast and they move the ball around really well. It's going to be a great game. I think for us, that Merrimack game in September was the game that we started changing a lot of things up in our system and how we play defense in the midfield, so I'm excited to see it. The reason and the team that we changed so much, to see us bring it tomorrow and see if those changes made a difference. Again, the speed is a big thing for them in the midfield. Mary McNeil in the middle, Riley Hammond's having a great senior year for them in the attack line. And so for us, I think shutting them down early in the field, and I think the biggest thing tomorrow is going to be if our attack players, our forwards, our high middies are playing defense in our attacking end, then we keep the ball where we want it and continue to get those shots on goal.